We're going to take 3 hours to get home, so don't go hungry. Ufas has you what? At heart. So I'm not going to go through this program for tomorrow. We're going to keep it up there as you interact and move around. I'm going to invite... Sorry? The actual presentations, you want to see that? Yeah, the presentation is there with the scientific goggles. So that's actually quite interesting and exciting. It's going to happen tomorrow. Elizabeth, you want to tell me the actual title? We don't want people to just think it's scientific goggles and that we're going to wear them. But now that I have her trapped here, I'm going to ask her to talk about that presentation, but also close us off and also remind us, though, that we have the exhibitions to have a look at. I'd like, in a special way, to thank the facilitators for today. We are on time. So I think that's a great thing that we've done.
Thank you very much. I just want to excite you about one of tomorrow's presentation. That is wearing the scientific goggles. We talked about it somewhere and someone thought that we were going to be given. But this is a new initiative which is coming up, and it's actually coming up through GIFRAS, AFAS, and the country chapters. It is about the practitioners wearing scientific goggles. And the person behind it, that is Dr. Lami Ngwenya. She's going to actually talk about it. But the whole thing is, because as practitioners in the field, it is that we have so much information which is never documented, which is never shared out in a way that is maybe publishable to actually impact lives. And the argument is that if we all are able to share this information, be able to package it in such a way that it can actually be read, be shared, it would actually have a lot of impact. So I don't want to be more excited than the person who is going to talk about it, but please come early and listen to Dr. Lami Ngwenya. She says, she actually always tells me, Beatrice, you have 10 PhDs with what you know about, with what you have concentrated in 30 years of extension, So you just come and listen to her. Come early. She's going to be online, but you like it. That's my pitch.
All right. For today's session, given that our CEO was pitching and not closing up, I would like to invite Joseph Okee on behalf of MAIF to wave us off. But you're reminded, please don't just walk out, have an interaction with the exhibitions and have some teas. But in the meantime, he will close us off.
Thank you very much. So my task is to wave us off. So I think I should just wave us off. I know this is not a very interesting time to tell you lots of lengthy things. But the purpose of why I'm here is for the next 30 seconds, I just want to give a few comments and responses to the questions that were asked to the panel before this one, and maybe to just clarify on a few issues if it matters. So just give me 30 seconds. Trust you me, you will not close your eyes as I speak. There were just certain concerns that came that I thought I could add my voice to, or the voice of MAIF. Somebody talked about how would you extension determine the price for extension? And I would draw that back to that question. It's demand supply. If somebody doesn't see value in what you're doing, they'll value it according to what you're offering. So demand driven. If today I just decided to have an enterprise and I'm dealing in rabbits, and I put it on social media and I'm showing people how nice my rabbits are, how I have a certificate in agriculture, how much money I'm making, and I'm saying, guys, next week I'm having a training on rabbit enterprise management, and I know somebody here, Madam CEO is handling rabbits, let's say I was her, and I said, come and pay 5,000 Ugandan shillings and learn something about rabbits. Who determined how much you should pay? I did, and if you feel it's worth it, you will pay the 5,000 and come and attend the training. That's how practical I want us to look at it. So there's nothing like how much should I determine for this. And somebody talked about also the barrier to recognize CBFs. Now there's an organization that I know that I've been dealing with that has been training youth in coffee. That is Cafe Africa with UCDA. They get these youth who have their own gardens of coffee that they're managing so well. They train them with a curriculum that I go and monitor and see how they're doing it. And afterwards, these youth are doing the function of what you call the CBFs. Now, these youth are just a call away. And sometimes people call me for advice on things to do with coffee or any other high-value crop. Coffee is just an example. And I just connect them to this. I'm like, where do you stay? I stay around in PG Gomba. And I just touch base with this NGO or non-state actor that's been training this youth. I say, do you have a youth, any of the youth that we train and certified, who stays around Gomba, who can support this particular farmer with advice on coffee and even do some hands-on thing? And then it's like, yes. So the youth will go there and give the farmer advice, and they agree on how much he will pay to transport him. Now, is he replacing the government extension staff? No. Because this youth is going to come, prune for them, offer the service, and manage the garden at a small fee. Demand-driven once again. So that's an idea that's already integrated and people should be using. And then finally, somebody talked about Ministry of Water, Environment, cross-cutting issues at ABI. Issues of agroecology and PELAM shall be addressed tomorrow. Some of these issues that are agricultural, if you were to look at it from an agroecology perspective, and you're doing climate smart, and there are all those acronyms and all those catchphrases that many organizations want. But at the end of the day, that holistic, pluralistic approach of working together is where the rubber meets the road. And we may have to build a lot more on social capital and advocacy. Because yes, the bill needs to be in place, and the bill is a process that takes time, and sometimes you cannot put timelines because cabinet may be involved, and all these others now, RAPEX came in, NADS came back, UCDA came back. So there are very many other concerns. But if there's advocacy and there's a real need for working together, and as non-state actors we come together and advocate for that need, the way we are doing right now, thumbs up to UPAS, then progress can be made. From 2016 to date, we have been riding on just the policy and the strategy. Some progress has been made, but you know, if there is the clear understanding and there is need, demand-driven. Remember, we always talk about demand-driven, and then we ride back to we're being held back by the law. But you see, the demand is what drives. Are we seeing the antithesis? Are we seeing we're saying it is demand-driven. If it is demand-driven and demand is created through good advocacy and also building social capital and working together, then the issues of the law will come in, yes, but it will probably not be a hamper to the process.
Can the Prime Minister's office coordinate the ministry?
Yes, the Prime Minister's office has the function of coordination, central coordination. But you see, the mandate of agriculture and the understanding and the responsibility that's given to agriculture, by default, we should take a lead role in some of these things which are technical in our field. There's a saying that you cannot cry louder than the bereaved. In this sector, we are the bereaved as agriculture and as agriculture non-state actors. So it is our voice which will carry along that coordination. That is why there's a whole ministry of, there's a ministry and there's a Department of Agriculture Extension. So we can't expect OPM, we can't employ them at our own, let me use the word funeral, if we understand the context, to come and cry loudly for us. They have their function of coordination, but we have the mandate and we should drive it with the passion and with the right advocacy, which you guys are probably very well placed in doing, and you're already doing well with the coordination of UFAS. I know there's a lot we can talk about that professor who has been out the trade. If you've studied extension and you don't know Dr. Miro, then I wonder whether you actually. And Professor Mangeni, of course. So those are the grandparents of this. And then finally, we talked about extension of high-value crops. It costs what it costs. Extension of high-value crops must come with a perspective of you're not helping somebody who is desperate and who is supposed to market his things out of sympathy. You know, we're helping the poor farmer. No, it is aggressive, it is tight. There must be understanding of standards, understanding of phytosanitary issues, understanding of market requirements, understanding of quality for what it is. It costs what it costs. In Central here, they say, "Chabay, chabay." So you will not go with a beggarly mentality, or poor farmer, or you need to survive, or poor. No, it's high value. You're going to hit the market. So the perspective, even as you go with as NGOs or as non-state actors, when you're talking about high value crops, it must be with that perspective of you have to hit it. You have to do something valuable. You have to understand the phytosanitary regulations. You have to understand the barriers, technical barriers to trade, and the non-technical barriers to trade and all that, in order for us to see a change in the high-value aspect. I say 30 seconds. I don't know where the 30 seconds are, but the 30 seconds are over. So I think it's now time to officially wave us goodbye, as I was expected to. And I'm sure tomorrow we shall be together. Thank you very much. For God and my country, have a blessed evening.